Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening today. How are you doing on this beautiful Saturday evening? Not just a Saturday evening like every other Saturday evening. This is a Saturday evening where you get to learn a lot of things, where you get to relearn, and of course, where you get to all learn some things. So, good evening and welcome to the GBG Women Will event. It's great to have us here. I know that a lot of people will be currently finding their ways into this room right now. And I just need you to know that you're in the right place in case you're just coming in and you're wondering, oh, what's happening here? No, but that's don't worry, you are in the right place. And it's great to have us all here this evening. Good evening once again, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on board. And like I said, I'm sure that in minutes, this place is really going to be populated because we look forward to having a whole lot of people being a part of today's event. It's great to have you. Thank you for joining. Interestingly, we have our guest all the way from Mauritius joining us quite early today. Thank you also for joining us, Dr. T. We look forward to having an amazing time with you today. So in case you're wondering, what are we doing here? Why are we here? What exactly are we going to be talking about here today? I'm sure you probably have seen the flyer, you've seen, the social media campaigns and the things we've been putting out. And today we are going to be talking about how we as women, as young ladies, can challenge the norm. And it's a conversation about first of many. What's the big deal if you're the first in your industry to really dominate a particular space? Or what's the big deal if you're actually the first to, make a name in a particular field? It's really getting interesting because, of course, we all witnessed what happened to our own dear mama just a few weeks back, where all of African women, were happy and were excited about it. And yes, it's so interesting to also note that these things are happening in a time that, it's more like a reawakening. It's more like a reawakening, an opportunity for women, and it's so interesting. It's such a great time to be alive as a woman. If you ask me, it's really, really such a great time. It's really such an interesting time to be a woman, and that's why I'm congratulating every woman in this space today. Thank you so much for coming. I know that you will have a lot to share, a lot to learn today. Now, Google Women Will, what are we about? What do we do? I'm going to be sharing that with us in a bit so that you get to know about us. And today is filled with different activities we're going to be doing. We have a spoken word artist who is going to come and, speak to us with words, with lyrics that are really, really intriguing and captivating. I look forward to having a great time with her. And yes, we have a special guest of honor all the way, like you see the way I'm saying all the way, guys, all the way from Mauritius. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. And of course, thank you for honoring our invitation. And what we do, Women Will is a Google initiative that is how to create economic opportunity for women everywhere so that they can grow and they can succeed. Helping women make the most of technology to build skills, get inspired, get connected through trainings like this event and advocacy. And the aim is to drive conversations that promote gender equality that will be of benefit to everyone, right? So that's what Women Will is all about. That's just in like a summary. So anywhere you see Google Women Will, at least have it at the back of your mind that that's what we do. And at Women, we would believe that when women have access to when we have equal access to information and opportunity, anything is possible. And I dare say that everything is possible to the woman who is informed, to the woman who is empowered, right? I'm sure that you all agree with me that women with access to economic opportunity disproportionately benefit their families, their communities, their countries, whether via research, access, or leadership. It's often said that when you educate a woman, educate. You're not just educating a woman, you are educating an entire nation, an entire community. Why? Because of course, that one woman is going to take whatever she has learned, is going to take it to the hands of the earth. And yes, that's what we stand for, and that's what we represent at Women with Google. And this is the Yaba community of Women with. Thank you very much once again to everyone for joining. I see a lot of people coming in already. Thank you. I still look forward to having more people on a call with us today. So, like I said, today we have quite a number of activities we are going to be doing, or we are going to be having, and we intend not to waste our time at all. We intend to be very prompt, to be timely, and of course to also follow our agenda promptly. Please, if you're here and you can hear me, let me see your comment in the chat box. Let me see that you are here. Let me see that you can still hear me. I don't want to lose anyone at any point in time, so just drop a comment for me. You can put your name, introduce yourself. This is also the time where we get to introduce ourselves. Immediately I see your name in the comment section, I'm going to say it out loud so that everyone gets to know that you are here. So feel free to drop an introduction of yourself, introduce yourself, your name, and what you do. It helps us to network better, to know each other better. Yay, thank you. I can see the chat. Okay, so what you're going to be doing now is not just for you to say, you can hear me, drop your name to say, oh, hi, my name is Adebayo Sandra. I am this, I am that, I am that. And I'm going to be saying that out loud. The essence of this is for us to network with each other. It's for us to know each other beyond just the fact that we just came together for an event, right? So we want to know each other. We want to really get to know us. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead to also introduce our guest speaker for today. I see the introductions coming in already. Thank you so much. Don't worry, I'm going to be shouting it out loud, but I need to also introduce a special guest speaker for today. And I told you that this woman has sacrificed a lot to be here. And going by where she is currently, it's not even 5 p.m. in her time, but she just decided to sacrifice, this time to be here. So it's such a great honor to have her here. And this amazing woman spent her early years traveling the world and was educated in 6 different countries, guys, ladies and gentlemen. 6 different countries. She holds a PhD in business science with the University of Derby in the UK, as well as a master's in strategic management. She is a board-level leader as well as a serial entrepreneur with over 30 years experience in Pan-African strategy and general management, marketing, branding, market research, media communications, and leadership. She has worked with a whole lot of organizations, just to mention a few: Edgar's Group, Wella, and within the globe, WPP Group extensively, as she leads a 30-year-old Pan-African market research agency, Research Bureau International. She is the founder and chief inspirer of Integra Africa, offering unique tribe programs. This tribe now is like TRRIBE, that stands for Talent, Retention, and Return, through internal brand management. This is really, really amazing and sweet to read. And of course, strategic solutions with Africa at heart. This is such a learned profile, a relevant profile, and meaty and punchy. But I'm going to just skip, and I'm going to come to the part to mention that she was the first female Zimbabwean entrepreneur of the year in 2004. And she is the author of the widely used 2013 Sub-Saharan African Living Standards Measure tool. She is a connector and has worked as a consultant with many multinational organizations across Africa and the globe. You should know the who we have brought here today was most recently the managing director of Insights Publicis, West Africa's largest communication firm based in Lagos, and she also headed innovation and growth for the Publicis business unit. She is currently leading the transformation of the AII Africa Global Media in Mauritius and continues to lecture on the GIBS NBA, that's the Gordon Institute of Business Science Faculty of University of Pretoria. She is an avid public speaker with an infectious passion for transforming businesses as well as inspiring people to grow and lead. But her foremost mission is the rapid development of the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have Dr. Mhizha here. I had to learn how to pronounce her name, and I'm glad I got it right. Dr. Tendai Mhizha. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us all the way from Mauritius. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to let you have the floor very soon. Just before that, we are also okay, I'm just seeing the comment section where she said that doesn't mean I am old. I'm also, don't worry, by the time we ask you to unmute your mic, I'm going to ask you how you have actually done this. And I see 30 years, 30 years, 30, and you really look so beautiful and young. Anyone who hears this profile will probably be expecting to see a very old woman, but no, she is so beautiful and yes, young. So when we get to our part, we are going to trash that. So for everyone who is waiting to hear that, don't worry. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. T for short. Dr. T, we love you. All right, I'm seeing the comment. I'm seeing the chat room now, and I see that it's buzzing with a lot of introduction. Ani Fumilayo Comfort, CEO, Ifemine, I hope I got that. Ifemine Online Grocery Store. Thank you for coming. It's great to see you. Goodness Nwachuku, a woman and a marketing and communication specialist based in Lagos, Nigeria. It's glad to have you here. Thank you very much for coming, Goodness. Idowu Esther, a baker, a caterer, a family life educator. It's so great to have you here. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Manuel is here, UI and UX designer based in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to have you here. I see beautiful people. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. So without wasting much time, like I said, we have quite a lot to do today. We have some other activities to catch up with But just before we get into the session where we have our guests talk to us about the conversation of today, we have a short presentation that I'm going to be taking and doing now. We have been instructed to share this with every woman who is on this call, and it's so great to know that Women Will at every point in time is always looking at how to improve every woman in a circle, every woman in the community. So we're not going to waste too much time on this. I'm just going to be as fast as possible, but trust me, it's going to be worth your time. So I'm just going to be sharing my screen right about now while we go over this conversation together. And this conversation is actually about understanding and communicating your values. So please let me know if you can see me or if you can hear me. You can see my slide. I want to know in the comment section. Just let me know. I can see the slide. I can hear you. Then I'm good to go. Right. Okay. So I know that in this age and time, a lot of time people have said, oh, you know what, communicate your value, let people know what you stand for as a business person, let people know what's your value. I mean, this value word keeps coming up over and over and over again. I want to see people's chat and comment. Please let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Please let me know in the comment section. Oh, clearly, amazing, great. So we are good to go. So I've heard it over time and time again. The word value keeps coming up, especially in business. I've heard business consultants say, you know what, people will not buy from you when they cannot when they do not know the value you represent, or when they do not know the value you're bringing on board as a business person. And I'm like, okay, fine. If this value word keeps coming up, then what does it mean basically in business? I know that for a lot of corporate organizations, there's something they call corporate values, and corporate values goes to the corporate value goes to the conversation around the standards that guides the way we do our business as business people. Okay, please let me know if you can still hear me. Let me know if you can still see me. I'm going to be following the chat in the box so that I know that I'm not losing anyone at the moment, right? Okay. So the conversation around value is what we cannot underestimate as business people, as people who are interested in growing our brands. Now, what does it mean to establish your strong foundation as a business person? I know that a lot of us are maybe small, medium entrepreneurs, or even those that are looking to scale and to sustain their business. It's very important that you begin to communicate your business value specifically to the public, especially to your customers. Yeah, there's this perception the society have, and that's where we come to the conversation around communication and gender. There's this social conditioning that people just feel like, oh, women who negotiate hard are labeled as pushy. They say, oh, you're cold, or they're not feminine. There's that perception. Oh, women often frame their needs in terms of others. Some even say, oh, women are often more inclined to take a nurturing approach and seek collaboration. And while others say that both men and women are less likely to want to work with women who negotiate hard and effectively. Now, the problem is that negotiating hard is not wrong in itself, right? It depends on how you are negotiating and what you are negotiating about. Now, shortly, we're going to see what it means as we go on in this presentation. Now, how do you communicate with confidence? Now, have it at the back of your mind that when I'm saying communication, I mean in business, right? How do you communicate your brand value or your business value with confidence, such a way that people do not misunderstand you, or people do not misinterpret you, or people do not label you in a negative, with a negative term? In business, you're constantly selling the value of what you have to prefer to potential customers, investors, and partners. In order to do this effectively, you need to be able to communicate your value with confidence. Like I said the other time, that value, please, can you still hear me? Can you still see me? I need to see the chat box to know. I'm going through the chat now so that I know that I've not lost anyone. Okay, yes, thank you very much. I just want to be sure that everyone is still here with me. Like I said the other time, now value sometimes is being defined like in monetary aspect. When you say, oh, monetary worth of something, some say, oh, a fair return or equivalent in goods. They say when they want to buy something from you, they say, oh, what's the value of this product? Why am I sure that if I use my hard-earned money, my money to buy this product, how am I sure that I'm going to be getting value for it? So value has been used in different terms, but how do you now begin to communicate this value to your customers in such a way that they do not misinterpret you, or they do not interpret it as something else entirely? Now, here are just 5 basic things that you need to know, especially when you need to communicate with confidence. Be prepared. As a business person, it is very important that before you go out there to even talk about your business or whatever you do or whatever you want to sell, you need to be very prepared. Why do you need to be prepared? People are going to ask you questions. I mean, you don't expect to just put out a product today and then people just, run head over heels in getting it, in buying it. No matter how beautiful it is, people still want to know why I should buy this product. People still want to, they want to hear you say the reason behind it. They want to hear the why, not just the what. They want to hear the why. They want to know, why exactly should I invest my money in buying this thing? Or why should I be exchanging my money for this thing? What's the value in it? So you need to be prepared. And preparation will also go to the part of you understanding what exactly the business is about. I mean, I cannot imagine a woman coming up to me to want to sell something and I'm asking her just basic things about the business and she doesn't know. My darling, what are we doing? Right? I'm sure that if you are the one, you would also be surprised. So it is very important that as a business person, you are prepared at every point in time. Now, you see, I see a lot of business people that, oh, when you ask them, what is your business about? They go about, perambulating, putting grammar together, and you're like, just explain to me what your business is about. You don't need to go far. Just tell me the why of your business. Just tell me this business. So it's very important that you are prepared at every point in time. And in your preparation, as you begin to, want to present yourself to the public or to your customers, be clear and specific. Be clear and specific. Don't give people that option to doubt you. Don't give people that option to rack their brain to say, oh, what exactly is she explaining? I don't even understand. There's something about clarity and simplicity in business. Just communicate your value as simple as possible, because the person you're talking to understands it when it is being said simply. I mean, because you want to communicate your value to me, I don't need to go carry a dictionary to begin to search for the meaning of words. Please go that time, guys. So it's very important that you are clear and specific. Clarity and simplicity is very important. Be clear and specific. Be specific when you are communicating your value with confidence. Don't be afraid to slow down or even pause. So when you are communicating your value, say for instance, you sell shoes and bags and clothing and all of those things. When you want to communicate your value in that regard, I mean, so for instance, you want to say, oh, I'm into luxury products. I sell this, I sell that, and sell this. This is why I sell this. It's beyond just the wearing of the dress. It goes to, stepping out in style and in confidence and in elegance as a lady. Don't be afraid to slow down and even pause when you need to. When you're explaining, especially when you are communicating your value to your customer, if the person does not understand, my darling, don't be angry when you need to go over it again, because guess what? The person has to get it. Why? Because you want to sell to the person. So it's possible that until the person gets it, the person will never get to buy. So ensure that you're not afraid to slow down or to even pause when you need to. Eliminate filler phrases. So filler phrases are like but there's some persons that have these words that are it's like very common to their speaking. Some people are, I know that if you begin to also take note of maybe your presentation, you probably have words that you repeat over and over and over again. Maybe before you say like 10 sentences, the word comes up like 20 times. Some people will say, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm sure you've had that experience before. For some persons, it is anyways, and the person's like, anyways, what? Right? So try as much as possible, try to eliminate filler phrases. Some persons it is for some persons are exactly, yes, exactly. Be careful of those things, because again, in communications, those things bore your listeners. So as much as possible, try to eliminate filler phrases. And then the last one is going to be aware of your body language. I'm sure that as I'm doing this presentation, you must have seen me move my body, move my head, move my hands. Be mindful when you're communicating your values with confidence. Be mindful of your body language, because again, body language is a form of communication. So you don't just go in front of your client or your customer and then you're dancing around and you're feeling, you're fidgeting, you're afraid, and then obviously it's so obvious and the person can even, see it on your face. Be very careful of your body language. Don't just go about to, embarrass yourself. Comport yourself as much as possible, because guess what? Nobody's going to kill you. Nobody's going to beat you up. So calm down, relax your nerves, and please just communicate or present your values as easy as possible. I hope you're still following me. I don't want to lose anyone at any point in time. So please ensure you are still following me. All right. I hope you're also learning something. I hope you're also learning something. So let me know. You can also use the raise hand option right there in case you probably want to ask a question or you want to call my attention to something. You can also raise your hand. Now, how do you craft your speech? Let's go to the part of crafting your speech. Your pitch. The pitch needs to be succinct. It needs to be a succinct statement that connects your capabilities to the client and their world, not yours. I'm sure that some of us must have heard the word elevator pitch before, and it's like a summary of what you do in 1 minute, in 1 minute. Excuse me. So the part of the pitch is a summary like of what you do. A succinct statement. Succinct is like precise, like short, precise statement that connects your capabilities to the client and their world. Now, like I was saying about the elevator pitch before now, it's assumed that if you have 1 minute or 2 minutes to if you meet somebody like Dangote in an elevator and you have 1 minute to tell him what you do or what you represent, what are you going to say? That's basically what an elevator pitch is about. Now, when it comes to pitching for your business, what exactly do you do? Now, the conversation around pitch will now make me talk about uh, your description or your definition. Some people don't have a definition for their business. So when you ask them, what do you do? They go, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm into buying and selling. I'm like, I know, but can you just be detailed? Can you just explain to me what you do in like 1 or 2 minutes? Now, my name is this. Say, for instance, you want to probably give an example or maybe a pitch. You want to pitch yourself to maybe an investor or somebody that is interested in your business. And you say, no, I'm not going to break the serial entrepreneur table today. I didn't come for war. I didn't come for war. All right. But I'm going to drive home a point here. And you say, oh, my name is Mary. I'm an entrepreneur who is interested in exchanging value for this and then for that and then for that. And then you go, I have done this with so person. Take for instance, because I am not like, I don't really sell products like you can see. I'm more in the service industry. So when you say, oh, what do you do? And when I talk to my clients about event hosting, I don't just go to say, oh, I'm an MC. Oh, like what I do is I help you to create an unforgettable memory for your audience and you in particular. When you hire me for your event, now you will see somehow some people say, oh, it's selling yourself. See, it's pitching, not just selling yourself. You are pitching yourself to someone who you want to buy your product. So you need to communicate your value very clearly. You need to be very clear about what you're saying. So don't just go and say, oh, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Oh, I'm an importer and an exporter. What do you import? What do you export? Describe what you focus on doing. This is the element of your pitch right now. What exactly is it you are doing? Focus, describe what the focus is on. I expect someone to probably be writing down and you are probably linking this with yourself or to your business. Now, when you describe what the focus is on, describe your typical client and a major problem they face. Who exactly are you selling for? Who exactly are your solutions meant for? Now, the solution you are providing, what is the problem they face? I'm sure before you even think of providing a solution, there has to be a problem. So what exactly is that problem, right? Describe your typical clients and then the major problem they face. Now, describe your client's benefit, how your client benefits from working with you. This is where you now talk about maybe testimonials or success story. If you have the time, this is when you say, oh, I worked with so person, I sold for so person, oh, this person bought from me at some point, and then this is the result. It's very important that you begin to state those things. Why? Because again, customers or clients want to see proof. They want to see proof of what you're doing. They want to be sure that, oh, somebody has, done it before, or somebody has gone through it before with you. And they want to be sure that, see, if I'm going into this, I'm not going to be shortchanging myself. It's very important that you begin to put that when you are going out to pitch. Now, bridge to the needs discovery step with a question. Now, the needs discovery step basically is all about the customer. What are their goals? What are their dreams, their aspiration? And then you always follow it by a question to say, why is this thing important to you? What are their opportunities? What are their challenges? What are their problems? Now, the questions that follow the need discovery part is why is this important? What is the opportunities? Why are these things challenging them? And also, by the time you fuse all these things together, they come together to now make you have an excellent pitch, such that when you stand in front of somebody to describe yourself, to describe your business, you're not just there looking for words to say. You know exactly what to say at a particular point in time. All right. I hope I've not lost anyone. I hope you're still following, and I hope you're still learning here. All right. So moving on, I'm going to let me see your comment. Let me see your comment, ladies. Let me see your comment. Can I see people commenting? Okay, coming on. Thank you. All right. So now, how exactly do you pitch? Now, there are two different types of pitches. I'm sure that you must have heard me say the word investors or customers intermittently. So you can pitch to different types of people, and they have different goals. If you're pitching to sell, it is different from when you're pitching to an investor, because an investor wants to give you money to say, oh, you know what, I have this money, invest it in your business. It may not necessarily not be money. Some conversations, it could be about equity and all of that. So it could be, if it's an investor, the way you pitch to an investor is definitely different from the way you pitch to a customer or the person you're selling to. Now, for sales, ensure you are focused on varied positioning, and what you need is tailor each client and their need. Now, your clients' needs are different. If it's possible, ensure that your product is meeting the need of a particular client. Now, what I mean is this. Take, for instance, paracetamol or Panadol, right? Let me just use that product. It's only people who are sick or that have a headache that's going to use it. I mean, if nothing is wrong with you, there's nothing you need a Panadol or a drug. Let me not even mention it. There's nothing you probably need a drug for, right? Now, that's like positioning, tailor each client, right? Focus on the needs. Let your product be answering the prayer of a particular person. I don't know if somebody is getting this right now. Focus on how your service addresses a specific and clear business pain points they have, right? Now, you remember when I talked about solutions and problems and solutions. If there is no problem, there is nothing you are bringing a solution for. There's nothing you are bringing a solution for if there is no problem. So ensure that you know what the problem is and then the solution you are bringing to it. Now, talk about the benefit of the product. Talk about the benefit of the product. And again, this is where I have to hammer on people that sell. And the only thing you're talking about is sell. Come and buy from me. Come and buy from me. Why should I even buy from you? You're not even telling me why I should buy from you. Take, for instance, a shoemaker, for instance. If you're selling shoes, or let me just use an example because of course a lot of women sell shoes. If you're selling shoes, that's not a fact, right? That's not a fact, that's a bad idea. If you're selling shoes, for instance, if everything you are saying is come and buy shoes, come and buy shoes, come and buy shoes, and I feel like something is wrong with your sales strategies. The reason I say that is because you have never for once even told your customers why they should buy shoes from you. You're not the only one selling in the market, remember? You're not the only one selling. So you want to always look out for what do I tell these people to let them know that, see, my own product is better than the other person's product. Is it on the quality? Is it on your no failing delivery system? Is it on, have you even taken time to talk about how to care for your shoe? Right? If you go out and then it rains, how do you care for a shoe that is wet? You've not even thought about all those things. What are the benefits of the product? If I buy this product from you, what do I stand to gain? It's very important that you also begin to infuse that in your sales. So when you are pitching, you want to convince a customer to buy from you. So it is not just about saying, come and buy, come and buy. Tell them the benefits to what you're buying. I see a lot of people in the nutrition industry. I think they do more of this because of course they tell you, oh, when you take this food, this is the benefit and the benefit. But the truth is that these things are general business principles and business rules. Very important. Always talk about the benefit of your product. And now results talk about how purchasing your business, your services will result in maybe cost savings, greater efficiencies, more clients and better margins, right? How will purchasing your services result in cost savings? Like if I'm buying from you, what's the point? What's the point if I'm patronizing you? What do I start again? Ties back to the third point of the benefit of the product. So it's very important that you know that when you're pitching to customers or to people you want to buy a product, these are really the things that should guide your pitch. Now, on the part of the investor now is like, it's on a bigger scale. Consistent positioning tailored to an investor audience. You need to now understand who the investor audience is. Now, it is not just about your own audience as the person who is the owner of the business. It's also about, because again, you want to convince the investor to come on board. So why would an investor want to maybe put his money on the ground when he knows that, oh, there are probably some things that I need as an investor that this business does not do. So in fact, before you go on to go and pitch to an investor, it's important that you understand first what is the pain point of that investor, what exactly are they looking out for, so that when you go there, you can attack it from that point. That's where you're trying to buy them over. Now focus on the market opportunity and how your services address the market. See, the conversation with investors is on a large scale, right? They want to know, how will this thing benefit the market? Like if we put our all in this, what do we stand to gain? This is your product, this is your services. How is it beneficial to the market? Like general products like water now, like I know that a lot of people will probably want to invest in water because it's like everyone takes water. Now, it now even depends on the kind of water. Is it pure water? Is it bottled water? Right? Is it condensed water? If there's anything like that, right? So how does these services address the market? Because investors want to, in fact, some investors want to hear figures, they want to hear the numbers, they want to know how far you've gone. Less about the benefits of the product, but also about how you win the market share. You can see the differences between, for sales and then investment. How do you win the market over? Because any investor wants to have a large share of the market. So it's not just about, this is the benefit of, how many percentage of the market do you have when this business launches or when you begin to do these things? So it's very important that you know all these things. Then how an investment in you will bring returns to them. You see, your team, operations, marketing, and your growth strategy. How will they benefit as investors? How will they benefit if they go on and invest in this business? So it's very important that you know all these things before you go ahead to do your pitches. I hope somebody is learning it. Now, these are the do's and don'ts. I'm going to really try to run fast now so that we can stay within the time frame allotted. We can stay within the time frame allotted. Now, these are the do's and don'ts when you're communicating your value to your customers or your investors. Establish your authority and credibility upfront. See, there's something about trust. When people trust you, they want to do business with you. Focus on the opportunity and potential. Inspire with your vision. What's your vision? What do you see? What do you see about your business? What's the goal for you? You need to inspire them with that. Then focus on the size of the opportunity. Know what is at stake. So focus on the size of that opportunity and ensure that you don't lose it. Be ready with the technical and commercial details. I told you, some investors want to hear the figures. They want to hear the numbers. So if that's what they want to hear, please give it to them. Then you tell a compelling and authentic story that shows your passion for the business. This one, you cannot leave it out. You can never ever leave it out, because at the end of the day, that's even how you're going to communicate these things to them. So tell a very compelling story and make sure it is authentic. You don't have to tell lies, but ensure that it is showing the passion that you have for that business. That's way you're able to convince them. That's way you are able to hypnotize them. That's the word. Now, don't dwell on legitimizing yourself. Don't do that. Don't spend too much time on details. As much as possible, do what you want to say what you want to say, and then move on to the next thing. Try to prove you deserve to be there. Right? Don't even try. Don't say, I deserve it, and then you go with your shoulders high, like, they should give me. My dear, you have to calm down. Calm down, right? Don't underestimate or overestimate your market and opportunity. Don't underestimate and don't overestimate it. Just the way we say in business, don't overpromise and don't underpromise. You have to always make sure you're on average scale. Now, even if you want to underpromise, if you're underpromising, that's in business, ensure that you're going to overdeliver, right? So you don't overpromise and then you underdeliver. I hope somebody catches that. Now, don't underestimate the size of your opportunity and potential. It ties back to the option on the do's, where you have focus on the size of the opportunity. Now, don't be too conservative in your project. My darling, this is the opportunity for you to shine your light. Please shine it and let the world see. Shine it and let the world see. Now, this is just a case study of a pitch. We pitched to over 100 investors. Every time we were rejected or had tricky questions, would improve our pitch deck. In our earlier pitch deck, we talked about our product in our first few slides, but in the end, the majority of our pitch deck explained the problem and its magnitude. This is from Malini Perkins, the co-founder of Canva. All right, so we are almost done with this, but I'm just going to very fast. Resilience is an entrepreneur's greatest quality. It is very important that as an entrepreneur, you are resilient. Why? Because, see, you're going to get a lot of no's, right? It's not a course, but you will not always get yeses. So when you don't get yeses, it doesn't mean that you're not doing well. It doesn't mean you should now pack and go home. No, that's not what it means. If you don't get a yes, please dust yourself and try again. Try again. I hope somebody is still following me, and I hope I've not lost my audience. Please let me know in the comment section. When you get no, speak up yourself and try again. Psychologists have broken down resilience into 3 dimensions. It's hardiness, it's resourcefulness, it's optimism. These 3 characters must be present in your life as an entrepreneur. Resilience is an essential quality for any successful entrepreneur, and studies have found a clear linkage between entrepreneurs who demonstrate resilience as a key trait and those who achieve long-term success. If you're not ready to be resilient, trust me, you're not ready to be an entrepreneur, because, see, you have to be dogged. You have to be dogged, and you need to have that dying spirit, never giving up. You need it, right? Now, take a few minutes to reflect on your why and write it down in your book. If you know the why of your business, if you know the why that you have gone into this particular line of work, it's easy for you to now remain constant, because even when you're disappointed, even when you're discouraged, your why is going to help you to keep on going. So if you're struggling to get started, ask yourself, what prompted you to start this business in the first place? And what are your motivators to continue? If you're able to decide that, then it's easy for you to continue pushing. So in this particular lesson, or in this particular presentation, what we have just learned about is the importance on how to communicate with confidence, especially when pitching yourself and your business. We've also learned that resilience is an entrepreneur's greatest quality, and its key components are hardiness, resourcefulness, and optimism. We've also learned about knowing your why. We've also learned that knowing your why will help you to keep yourself motivated every time I'm always on track. So that's going to bring us to the end of this presentation. I hope you've learned something. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for being here with me on this particular presentation. Now, get to your action plan, commit to what you're going to achieve in the next 24 hours, put it down on your notes, and then ensure that you stay focused. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, right about now I'm going to just stop presenting. Okay, if you have questions, you can drop it right there. I'm not going to take it now because I'm going to invite our spoken word artist to come up now and just speak to us with words. I don't know if she's online yet because I want to confirm if she's online. I want to know if she's online. Faith, please, if you're online, can you just raise your hand? And please, any of the co-organizers could help me. Could help me check through. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, let me see your comment. Let me see your comment in the section. Thank you so much. I'm seeing them. Yeah, I'm seeing them. Thank you. Okay, to do the spoken word for us today is one amazing lady who is not just a spoken word artist, who is also a writer, a YouTuber, a Christian medic. She's passionate about mental health and societal development at large. She's how to impact life, and that's a watchword. She's a lover of music, a lover of books, and everything that gives her joy and fulfillment. Amazingly, she takes her time to rejuvenate in quiet places. She's a very intentional young lady, and most importantly, she's intentional about the girl child. She's had several outreaches to help educate and groom them to being the best they can ever be. Ladies and gentlemen, Faith Kaiye. I hope you are here, ma'am. Faith, if you are here, please, can I see you? So that we can just give it the floor. Oh, she's here. Hi, Faith. Good evening. It's great to see you.
Good evening. Good to see you
And
too.
you are looking really beautiful this evening. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Um,
evening.
so thanks for the introduction. I came in while you were in the middle of it and everything. So I'll be going right into giving you all my spoken word and just few words. I hope you get inspired by them. So it's titled "The First of Many." Everyone can hear me, right? Mary, I don't think she's there.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. All right, here we go. What if I told you that your childhood dreams were more than mere fantasies? The thoughts and ideas that popped into your head when no one could really understand, relate, and fully comprehend were given to you for a reason. What if I told you that telling you that you are much more than enough is not a cliche, but the truth? The truth that you are beautiful enough, smart enough, complete and enough. What if I told you that your designation came with a purpose? But your designer took his time in creating this design, and men still marvel at, because guess what? You are his masterpiece. And what if I told you that those failures were never meant to define you, but remind you that success is just a step away, a rising from the fall, a trying again and again and again till that fruitful result comes forth, till your dart hits the bullseye? What if I told you that the weights were meant for you to build those strong muscles? The storms that came were meant to activate your faith. The burning and pruning were meant to bring out the best, refined, renewed, and exquisite treasured gold. And what if I told you that your struggles do count? Your tests and trials will surely bring forth a testimony. And maybe, just maybe, you have been called names, laughed at, made fun of, or even let down by those you put so much trust in. Maybe you've tried so many times, you've given up trying to count how many times you've had to drag your tired and broken self up from the ground. Maybe your tears have become ocean full and dark clouds choose to remain over you. Maybe yesterday's storylines gave meaning to today's limitations. But can we come as one, creating words that will one day be read in tomorrow's written chapters? We might have to walk through paths untrodden. It might not be the moon, but our feet can be the first to tread these seemingly blocked, unreachable pathways. We might have to clear the grass, and maybe all we have at hand are primitive tools, but we keep pushing. We might have to speak words unspoken, sacred to our lips, because our mothers were once told to keep silent and look away. We might have to dream dreams bigger than our minds can comprehend, bigger than history could ever achieve. We might have to break the chain of thoughts, placing limitations to how high our hopes can get, how big our visions can be accomplished. We might have to climb heights with our legs wobbly, our hearts shaking, and our voices quivering. But with each step, our faith gets strengthened, and fear becomes a thing of the past. With each word we speak, silence becomes a telltale story, with our voices sitting in front rows and standing on this magnificent podium with thousands and thousands listening with so much intent. With each step, we would leave footprints in the sands of time, never to be erased, always remembered, creating a generation of women who are the best among many and the very first among the rest. Thank you.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Faith. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is really amazing. And now the conversation is even shifting. It's not just about being the first among many, it's being the best. Being the best, being the best, being the best. This is really amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much, Faith. We do appreciate your time. We really, really do appreciate. Thank you so much. All right. Moving on, we are going to be bringing on our keynote speaker. A keynote speaker. I've read out our profile the other time. Dr. T has been here with us since we started this event. It's such a honor to have her, and she's going to be talking to us about the theme of this event, which is first of many, challenging the norm and closing the deal. This is so rich a topic, if you ask me. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. T. I saw you some minutes ago. Yes, Dr. T is still here. Please unmute your mic, ma'am, and you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, I guess, everyone. For me, it's almost 9 o'clock at night for me here. So I hope I won't be falling asleep here.
I trust you. I trust you.
You trust me? Okay, that's good. All right, thank you very much. That was a very wonderful presentation. And thank you to you all for having me this evening. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for inviting me to your group. I will just talk for about 25, 30 minutes on some different topics to do with the topic. I mean, the main topic that we're talking about today has got to do with, I believe it's a mixed audience of women entrepreneurs, women who are in the business space, and we have some men as well who are, I saw one of the guys there saying, I'm a challenger, I'm here. You know, that's fantastic to see men taking the time on a Saturday evening to attend Women's Will. I'm already encouraged by that. So I'm going to take this in 3 parts. I'm going to talk a bit around this, and then I'm going to open up the floor just to have a discussion. I'd love to hear your input. I'd love to hear your stories. If we have time, I'll give you a very short motivational presentation, about 10 minutes. If we still have time, which is what I call the eagle paradigm. It's a paradigm for success. It's just a way to think. That is a way that gets you to make sure you're always focused on the right things, and having that eagle mindset. As women, sometimes we get lost in the fray of what we do day to day. Faith, thank you so much, if you're still there, for your spoken word. I always find it amazing. I always think I missed something when God was giving away that ability to just do that spoken word. I wasn't there. I always have wanted to be able to do that. So you're my heroine, my sheroine. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, the talent is appreciated. And yeah, so let me start from the beginning. Let me tell you my story in a very in a nutshell. It's a very interesting story, which I think you'll find surprising. You know, I was born. I have an elder sister and myself, born to Zimbabwean mother and Zimbabwean father, Malawian mother, and my mother passed away when I was 4 years old from breast cancer. So I was brought up by a man, which in itself was quite an interesting thing. He, most African cultures, and of course my aunts would say, leave the kids with us, you have 2 small daughters. And he was traveling around the world. That's why I went to school in so many places. But he decided he was taking his 2 girls with him everywhere he was going. And he brought us up. A single male father managed to bring up 2 girls, and I think we're all right. He managed to do a very, very good job. But interestingly, I got, we traveled around so much that my school suffered from it. And I think I was a bit wayward. I was busy doing beauty contests and doing this and that. Everything else was much more important than school to me. So guess what? When I got to my high school, I failed. My father was very upset. I was from quite a high income family, and he sent me to a very, very basic, low income type of college in a very kind of a rough kind of area of town, and said, you know what, you need to, get off your high horse and learn how everyone else lives. Go there and repeat and do your O-levels. And I went and I repeated. I did my O-levels, and of course there fell pregnant. So at 19, pregnant, no going to university, no nothing. One would say disaster, right? And that's usually where the girl child story ends, and then you marry her off to some guy, and nobody ever really hears about you in the news any other time thereafter. But that was not my story. I interestingly had one thing that we need. And the one thing that we need as women is one person, male or female, that believes in us. And sometimes that person can just be you. There's a belief, we have to believe in ourselves. And society has made it such that we are primed to believe in others. We are more primed to believe in what the pastor says than what we think, and what our parents perhaps say than what we think. And what we think and what we believe always becomes secondary or something of a judgment. And therein lies the crux of the issue of women in business, women entrepreneurs, women in the business place. I always say, yes, society is skewed. I don't ever want to mince words around the fact that society is skewed against women in all factors, from government, from policy, all the way through the way that business works. But in this day and age of digital age, of access to finance, access to information, access to education, access to all kinds of opportunities like these ones that are being offered, this kind of presentation, nobody could access it before. I mean, and now you have somebody giving you a world-class presentation for free that you can look at, and you can get this kind of information, you can get these kind of things, and you can go on and you can build your businesses. You can speak to, different people who can inspire you, who can give you, contacts and leads and information on how to do things properly and how to succeed. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am. Please mute your mic if you're not talking. Please mute your mic if you're not talking. We can hear you, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay. So I was getting to the point where I was saying that this kind of everything is kind of slanted against women in business, but this idea that we are in the position we were in even 5 years ago is not true. Everything has changed. If you saw The Stars Must Fall, just look at what happened. The older generation in Nigeria was thoroughly confused. They could not believe what they were seeing with their eyes. They were looking at this, saying, are these our youth? More organized than they have ever been in anything they've done. Youth were sending money from all over the place. They were organized. They were getting it. And they said no. They finally said no. And they raised their voices, and they did so in such an organized and, a determined manner that the old guard got the shock of their lives. And that's what's happening with women in the workplace. I think in one of the slides that Mary showed, she was talking about why would we don't underestimate. I found that very interesting. Don't underestimate yourself, and don't undersell your project, the size of your project. Why do we do that? We do that very often just because we don't dare to believe what we can achieve. So we also put ourselves in the place where we think we should be. So what am I saying? Can you get the gist of where I'm going? That some of the ways in which we will do things differently and we can challenge the norm is by challenging ourselves. It starts with ourselves, and say, why? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Does it make sense? What is stopping me? And you might find that a lot of the time, what is stopping you is what you think is normal. And what I'm here to say today is what is normal in your environment. It could be your workplace, it could be even in your upbringing, it could be in your community, it could be in your business community, whether you're an entrepreneur, whatever. It's not necessarily right. Things can have been happening in a certain way for a long time. It doesn't make it right. And it doesn't stop you from speaking out about it today, even if nobody has for the past 10 years, and working with it. So it's about questioning and challenging and not asking for a seat at the table. It's about doing it. If you believe in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody is going to believe in you. You have to look at yourself and ask yourself, why should anyone believe in you? What have you done that would make anybody want to buy your goods, your product, or hire you more than the next person? So when you look at the core of what success are, the basic building blocks of success, it's about you as an individual. It's all about you. We concentrate so much especially in Africa, on education, certificates. If I get the certificate, I'll be successful. If I do the school, if I have contacts, if I have this, if I get lots of money from the bank, I'll be successful. It's not, that's not the basis of success. All those rich mega multi-brands around the world, all their founders never finished school. They were just dropouts and whatever. And they all made it. They all made it big. How did they do it? They just believed totally in themselves and in what they were doing, and they went for it. And you can believe that, you know, when I was at Insight, you know, Insight Publicists, I don't know, most of you would know it, I'm sure, as the largest advertising agency in Nigeria. I interviewed hundreds of people. And people would look at me and say, why don't you ever read the CVs? I would never read a CV before an interview. I would ask somebody to send me the CVs. I would have my computer there, and I would look at, and I would have the CVs all lined up on my computer, and I would just listen to the person talk. If the person didn't interest me in terms of the person themselves, their genuinity, the way they talked, the way they came across, I would not even look at the CV. What is the point of looking at the CV? Everybody can have a degree, but that's not what is going to sell to a client. You know, that pitch, you know, that elevator pitch that you're talking about? How much of that pitch do you think sells the product, and how much of how that pitch is done sells the product? Do you know that it's not the best product, it's not the best service, it's not the best proposal that wins? Never. It never is. Sometimes by chance, the best proposal may win. But the way we choose, the way we connect with each other is connection. How are you connecting? How are you showing up? That comes to who are you and how are you showing up? What is your personal brand? Do you know what your personal brand is? Do you have your own vision, mission, your own strategy, your own style, your own way of showing up? Do you understand that people have tribes? Remember, in the introduction, we were talking about tribes. People belong to tribes. A tribe being people who speak the same language, who understand things in a certain way. That's why when you go into certain companies, you struggle. As an entrepreneur, you beat, I can't get into this company. I can't get into this company. It looks like this other person, they just want to deal with them. Why? You're not speaking their language. You're not understanding them. In any elevator pitch, there must be something about the customer. In your pitch, there must be something about the customer. That's one thing about the elevator pitch that we were not taught at school. You have to do your research before you go and meet a client. What do you need to do when you meet a client? What do you need to do when you are in a business meeting in your workplace? You need to tell people something they don't know. You need to tell people something that maybe they know, but they haven't thought of in the way that you're putting it across. To do that, you have to do the work. You've got to be reading, you've got to be researching. You have to talk to people in their own language. So before you go and meet a customer, before you go and talk to somebody, there's something called google.com. Go there, find out about the person that you're just about to meet, whether it's in the workplace or the entrepreneur. And all you have to do is say one thing that connects you to that person. See that, oh, this person is an avid, something, they like soccer or whatever. Say something about the match yesterday. Even if you're, you don't know soccer, you don't like it, you just figure out that, oh, everything that they tweet is about around soccer and whatever. So you say something, you've already got that person. You're talking their language. Go to their website, see how they talk about their products. Use some of their own language. Use some of the language that's in their mission and vision as you talk to them in your proposal. You're already 10 steps ahead of the next person behind you. And take a stand. You have to stand for something, guys. As women, you have to stand for something. If you just show up and think doing my job is enough, That's not what makes us stand out and what makes us be leaders and go ahead. Let me tell you the first problem I faced. The first time when I realized what it is to be a woman in business and what it is to succeed as a female entrepreneur was when I joined my family business with my father. So my father, my uncle, started a research business. And my father said, please come and join us. And I was like, I don't think I want to work with my father. And at this stage, I had just, my father kept on saying, you're very clever. Go back to school. Just go in the evening. By then I was working. He said, go back, in the evening to school. Go back and, study something. I went and did a diploma in marketing and I found I got distinction. You say, see, I told you. You got brains. do carry on. Go and do a degree now online. So I went on. I did a BSc. First class. Okay. Go and do your master's. I did it. From there, I got first in class. Go do your PhD. I did my PhD, and I went all the way through. I did all my education whilst working. I never stopped working my whole life to this day. And so when I got there to this company, I started working. After 2 or 3 weeks, people started coming to me and saying, oh, can we talk to you, please? Knowing that I was the daughter of the owner. Your uncle is doing something. Can we talk to you? Can we talk to you? Eventually, I got to the bottom of it. This uncle of mine, my father's brother, same mother, same father, was forcing women to sleep with him in order to get the jobs as interviewers. And, they had been working on this company for about 8 or 9 months before I joined. And he had been doing that from the beginning. And the woman who was talking to me was part of that. And I said, huh? Okay, no, that's not going to happen on my watch. Because my dad was saying, you need to, take hold of the company. I want you to learn, to start from the bottom. So I agreed with my father. You start from the bottom because, guys, guess what? If you want to be the boss, you better know everything about the business. You better know how every little thing is done, where every little leaky hole is possible in the business. You must know everything. It's not about being the boss because you're just put there. That's the worst possible situation you can be in as a woman, and it's totally disempowering. You have to do the hard work. There's no fast way. And the generation X, Y, Z, they want fast, instant gratification. I got my degree, give me the job, give me the money, I'm going. No, you have to do the hard work. And I had to go up to my father and say to him, it's either the uncle or it's me. I won't work here. You taught me to work with principle. I don't have ego, but I have principle. So you will come hard across me with principle, not ego. So ego is something that a lot of women feel they must play with in a man's world. It's a man's world, yes. And they feel they should push up ego. They don't have to be feminine. They don't have to wear their wigs and do this. They should just try to be, all man up. No, I will go with my 6-inch heels. And I will still beat you in the boardroom, And I said to this man, to my dad. My dad was like, oh my God. So my dad was in a very difficult situation. He had brought me up to be a principal, yet this was his brother. My dad was in a very difficult situation, but he had to choose. He said to me, are you serious? I said, I'm very serious. I will not. I will never work here. I'm going. I will not ever, ever, ever work with somebody who is doing that to people. I will not. It's either he goes or I go. Even if you tell him to stop, he's done it already. And there are people in this company who has done that too. Worst case scenario is I'm going to the police. Best case scenario, just get rid of him. Now, for a child in a family to get their uncle, do you understand what I'm talking about, guys? This was deep. This called for meetings in the village because my dad asked him to leave. And I was a persona non grata in this side of the family. My dad was just cut off of that side of the family, and this and this and this. It was such a disaster. But you know what? That is the company that I won Entrepreneur of the Year for, because I changed that company from 5 people to 2,000 people in 4 years. And my dad saw that, there's something in this girl, there's something she can do, you know? And he took a bet, and it paid off. And he said, no, this guy, no. So he did that. But guess what? People were watching. People were watching. They saw what I did. And because of what I did, they were prepared to follow me into the hills, to take a bullet for me. Do you understand? Because they said, this is someone who will stand up for us. And that is the way I was able to inspire and work with people. With principle, respect each and every person, transparency, but zero tolerance. And I have something which anyone who was at Insight would know is a philosophy that says all or nothing. It's all or it's nothing. If you can't love what you do, don't do it. If you don't have your whole heart and soul in what you do, don't do it. So at the end of the day, once I faced that and I knew I could do that, I never looked back again. And I never took any challenge lying down. I said, I will do it. I will do it and I won't be scared. At Insight, I was removed from my position as CEO at Insight. I was removed from that position because I refused to do something to the staff, which I found was not correct. I refused. And when I refused, they couldn't believe it. They said, but you're employed here, we're paying you. I said, you're not paying me to do something that's against my principles. You can't pay me. You can fire me, or you can move me off this position, or you can do whatever you want. That's fine. So they said, okay, we'll move you, want you to go to this other position to run this other area. I said, no problem, I'll go. They said, are you serious? You will leave your position for this point of principle? I said, yes, I will do it. And I did. And people who are at Insight will tell you to this day that I left my position as CEO as Insight purposes to go to the main company because of a point of principle, which everybody saw. And at the end of the day, that is what gave so many women. We had an International Women's Day event. So many women said, you know, what you did changed my life. I saw that, you know what, you can stand up. You can stand up. And you can actually have more courage. Oh gosh.
We are sorry about that. We are sorry about that.
No problem.
Yes, he's been taken out. Great.
No problem. So,
who are these people? Please, admin, check it and get them out if they have to be. Please get them out. Please get them out. Please get them out. Please get them out and ban them if possible. Yes. Please get them out and ban them. Thank you.
Okay. So, where was I? I lost my train of thought. So
we're talking about the International Women's Day, how people, you know, were saying what you did.
Yes, it meant it made some of the women leave the company, but they left to start things, their dreams, things they had dreamt of. They got the courage to start companies that they had planned for so long, but they just didn't have the guts to do. You know what I mean? It was a wake up to say, you know what? What is stopping you now? I was asking, what is stopping you? And they were realizing that actually I'm stopping me. I said, why can't you believe in yourself like you believe in your pastor? Is the pastor not a human being? with the blood and a heart, but is a thing. Or you are, or your female, or whatever part, are you not the same a person? None of us are God. We are all people. And as women, we sometimes go forward and we put ourselves in the position that we think is.
Daniel, please, if you can hear me, get Gabriela Fernandan out of this building, please. If you can hear me, get him out of the building. Please remove him finally and ban him. Thank you. This is the second time this is repeating. I saw the comment where he said it's a neighbor. I don't want to believe it's a neighbor. Please get him out and ban him. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am. I'm really sorry about this, ma'am. We apologize, please.
No problem. No problem. Where was I again? So I was basically talking about believing in yourself and like you believe in your pastor, you know, and about women putting themselves into positions that they believe or where they think they're supposed to be. Do you get what I mean? And where we think we are supposed to be is somewhere where society or the norm of whatever place we are. So we go into what we call norming. So if the environment which we are in is a very male-dominated environment, which a lot of business environments and a lot of entrepreneurial environments that we're working in are, we then say, okay, this is it. But now we are competing with men who themselves have the same syndrome. Flavio, they ask this now.
I think we have spams in this communication already. We have a lot of spam. Daniel, that's like one of the limitations around tech. Sorry about that.
No problem. So, you know, you'd have this. So the point I was trying to make is that if women go in and think that, and where they just think they should be is where they're comfortable, where they think, okay, if I speak out too much, if I do whatever, if I'm doing good at my job, I will be promoted, I should be, you know, continuing. And then they start seeing other people being promoted around them. It's not always, as I said earlier, even with the proposals that we give out as entrepreneurs, as business people, the best one that wins. It's a combination of things. It's your personal brand, how you connect, what you do. If you want a job to be promoted to that, you have to be doing the job first. That's how you get promoted. You just do the job without being given the title. It's not about titles. One of the things I always do in companies that I run is I remove titles. I take off your ogaship stuff, jackets and what, just remove. And let's work. Because we're here to work. We're all here for the same objectives, to meet the same objectives. So titles, I'm sure you've seen the book by Robin Sharma called Leading Without a Title. If you can ever get your hand on that book, you should read it. You know, because especially I found in Nigeria, a lot of people lead by titles. And they use those titles with a very high ego to railroad people into feeling and thinking that they belong in a certain place because they continuously tell them that. But just because somebody tells you something 25,000 times doesn't mean it's true. So it's up to you to believe what somebody tells you to be true or not. And that point of decision is yours as a woman to take. And that's what I always told people, but I didn't just say it. I did it, and I showed it in everything that I've done, and I've done that in my entire career. And of course, it's never been comfortable. And you know, at the end of the day, is it comfort we're looking for? If you want to make a difference, you have to decide what it is that is your purpose. If you don't have that vision, mission, values for yourself as a person, How will you ever succeed as an entrepreneur, as a woman in business? If you have that, then you know that if I'm CEO of this place or I'm doing something else, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my purpose. My purpose is to change as many lives as I can, to create as many leaders in Nigeria. That's why I went to Nigeria, to create as many leaders as possible. From whichever corner I can do that, I will do that. As long as I'm doing that, I am meeting my purpose. And I'm creating people who believe in themselves, who are the best that they can be, removing the shackles into their mind, taking their minds from a place of poverty and of wanting and of feeling they have to pay homage and patronage to someone to get to where they're going, to a place of a mind of abundance. When you have a mind of abundance and you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. Because then you keep on searching for knowledge, you keep on searching for truth about what you're doing, and you always will hit it on the head. You know something about money? Money doesn't like to go where there's no money. Money is very lonely without other money. Money likes to go where money is. So sometimes you have to put that extra effort. You know, it wants to go where, and people are like that. They want to go where they feel comfortable. People don't want to go somewhere just because it's cheaper. So when you put your product out there and you put yourself out there as a person, remember I was saying, I don't look at CVs. Put yourself out there. You have to think to yourself, what is my value proposition? I think Mary touched it in her presentation where she said, okay, what benefits are you offering? But for me, it's further than benefits. A value proposition is, what are your benefits in comparison to your competitors? And then what are the reasons to believe? Why should I believe you? Show me, give me that hook. And why should I have confidence in you if you don't have confidence in yourself? How can I connect with you? And what is value? Do you think value is money? It's not based on the price of your product. In the market, there's 10 people selling the same thing. Value is many different things. Do you know that right now, what we teach to MBAs at school about value is that the highest level of value at the moment in society, in the world, especially in Africa, is experience. Not money. People will pay for experience, and then they will pay for brand, right under experience. So they'll pay even more for an experience than for a brand, but then they will pay for brand, and they'll pay for emotional connection, what makes them feel good, what makes them feel a certain way. And then everything else in terms of how the product works and, you know, that it works and it actually does whatever. If it is the lotion is supposed to be softening your skin, it actually softens it. Why would you be in the market if you don't soften there? Why would you even be standing in front of me? Obviously, you're going to soften the skin, you know, and everyone has access to technology. So I don't know if your product is that much better than the next guy, but sell me on something. Do you get it? So at the end of the day, we have to understand value is made up of many different things. It's experiences, it's connection, it's all these different things. That is what is the new normal. So the norms that we're used to doing is selling the product. It's not what actually sells. And that's why we keep on bashing ourselves against the wall. And when I say selling the product, I'm not just talking to entrepreneurs. I'm talking to people in business. The product is you. How do you get ahead? How do you climb the corporate ladder? It's more than just what you can do in terms of your skill set. It's about your entire personal brand. So I would challenge you. Sorry, I'm going to 32 minutes now, but I would challenge you all to make sure that you start thinking about your personal brand. Make sure that whether it's today or tomorrow, sometime, write down your vision, your mission, write down your own values, write down your strategy for yourself, write down your purpose, write down your style and what it is that you're trying to do. Write down what you sell in the words of Mary, not what it is, but what is it in terms of experience? Write down a strategy for how you're going to connect with your associates, business associates, employment associates, whoever it is. What are you going to use to connect? Because this world is just about connections. It's how many connections do you have? What is the quality of those connections? Because those connections are now currency and are now value. So if we look at challenging the norms, closing the deal, women being where we are, it's not about asking, oh yeah, women need more chances, change the legislation. No, it's just go sit there and get on with it. Do the job better. Challenge. Don't allow things to be there. Challenge to say, why are things the way they are? If you're told, no, you cannot do that, say, why? I remember somebody saying, no, we must stop hiring all these women who are who have just got married, they're just going to become pregnant and disturb our, business model. Hey, so where did you come from? The moon? Somebody gave birth to you, So it's crazy, I'll say, not have such things being spoken of like that. That is total rubbish, And at the end of the day, these are the kind of things. And I went to challenge the HR people and said to them, this thing that I'm hearing, this company is 40 years old, 40. Is it the first time you are hearing it? No, we've been hearing it. I said, and you are women with children, and you will allow somebody to say that in a meeting and you keep quiet? Will they fire you if you say that is against even the Ministry of Labor, for you to even say such a thing? Will you be fired for saying that? No. So why don't you say anything? You just keep quiet. You think I must say it because I'm who? Because I'm CEO? No, you are the head of HR. You are a female, even a male, whoever it is. You should be saying those kind of things. You should not be allowing people to say things like that in the business place. Because once you allow that kind of thing to be spoken, then it's no. Serious matter. Oh, yes, Mary, serious. It's these kinds of things that we allow, and people will hear it. And you know what they do? They talk to the corridor walls. And I kept on saying, if you guys keep on talking to corridor walls, don't come complaining about the scales being tipped against women, because the corridor walls cannot change the life of women. You should be putting an enormous amount of pressure on your HR. Yes, HR need to step up for employees, but we don't push them as well. People will go to try something and they didn't say, so they didn't do anything, and that's it. I say, so then what did you do? Nothing. So you gave up so easily? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I suppose maybe I should have gone back and followed up and said, what have you done now? I said, yeah, you keep following up until they do something, but they'll try once, oh, nothing will change. That's the way it happens here. That's how we get left behind. Because we don't have the fight. That's not how people fought for us. Do you know a lady called Dora? Dora was the Minister of Information for Nigeria. I think 2010, around 2010. Dora Akunyili. And then she became
Dora Akunyili. Dora Akunyili.
Exactly. Then she became the head of the NAFDAC. And she fought against counterfeit medicines, and then she got cancer, and she was a very, very fierce cancer warrior. Do you know that the Black Panther, Dora, the female generals?
Yes, in Black Panther.
They were molded after her. They're called Doras. That they're molded after her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting thing that I was shocked to find that a lot of Nigerian people didn't know that. So when I was at Insight, I got this made. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yes. Oh, one of the women. One of the women. Yes, we
Right.
can say.
Yeah, so it was posthumously because she passed away, I think, 2014, and so we photoshopped it, her as one of the Wakanda generals, and we
Yes.
had that on International Women's Day to say this is the true warriors of Africa, you
This is
know.
amazing. Really
And
beautiful.
for me, that is what it is. We see these people and the way they fight, and we think they're special or abnormal, but we are all supposed to be fighting that way. But we can't even fight. We go to HR once and say, oh, they didn't do anything. And we think we've fought a fight. We go to the client once, they turn us away. We say, oh, I can't get business, or this thing is hard, or have you seen the way that woman fought?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Tenaciously. Hmm.
Yes, that's fighting. So anyway, I think I'm done. So it's all or nothing. You know, it's about being an expert. It's about believing in yourself. It's about confidence, connection, and it's about your personal brand. It's about research and preparation, and always knowing that if you're going to talk to somebody, you better believe in yourself first, because that is what you're actually selling. Is belief in yourself before anything else you put on the table. If you don't believe in yourself, people can see straight through it in the workplace or wherever, and you're not going to get wherever you're going to get. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. And that is what the new normal needs to be for women. Women who confidently believe in what they can do and are not going to be told that they can't do it by anybody, are not asking for a seat at the table. They just go and sit. And if they know what they're doing, they do it. That's all.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Dr. T on fire. Dr. T on fire. Let me see your comment, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Woo! Dr. T, this was more than amazing. This was more than amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I mean, I kept on writing and writing and writing. I love when you told us about your principle that is all or nothing. All or nothing. That is second to the best is not even it. Let me be in the front. Let me be the first. It is everything. I am capable. I am possible. You talked about principle, respect. You talked about philosophy. Yes, I can see your comments. Keep dropping the comments. Amazing. Yes, I can see the comment. Thank you. Oh, this is really serious. Interesting. You said it's not about titles. It's not about titles. And immediately I wrote that book down, Reading Without Titles, the titles. And I'm going to...
By Robin Sharma.
Yes,
Robin.
I'm going to be getting it for myself. I encourage everyone to also do. A mind of abundance keeps searching for more knowledge. And more reason why you need to expand your mind and give yourself that, that capacity to just explore and explore. Keep on exploring. I love that you started the conversation about money. I am so I'm so interested. Money is very lonely without other money. that was funny, but it's so true because money goes to where money is. Yes.
It's true. If you go to a meeting looking like you are hungry and you didn't even eat gari in the morning or anything, nobody's going to give you money. Nobody's going to give you their money.
This is interesting. Dr. T, you know about Gary. Oh, wow.
I know everything.
Interesting. Oh, Olumide just dropped, he just dropped a brief summary. Okay, let me take it from the bottom. Branding, connection, confidence, research, value, respect, philosophy, principle. That's principle. Glenn, thank you. She also talked about experiences, expertise, connection, personal branding. Very important. And you know the part when you also started talking about why do people not believe in themselves as much as they believe in, pastors, prophets, and all that. And it's something really important to look into because the truth is some persons don't even believe they can pray for themselves and be healed. They want always somebody to do it for them. And it's something to really think about. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. T. So, do we have questions? Please, if you have questions for Dr. T, if you have questions, this is the time where we still have a few minutes before we call this a wrap. So, if you have questions for Dr. T, please push it forward. Push it forward. Oh, people are requesting for a recording of this. Amazingly, we have a recording. Great. Don't worry. We have a recording. Thank you. Somebody said, I need to listen to this again. Great. You should. You should. These are things that you should not forget. You should always listen. It's so fireful and eye-opening. Amazing. I wish I can show you my notebook. Sandra, I trust you. You're always jotting something down. I trust you. Yes, believe in yourself, Esther. Please believe in yourself. Yes, faith, all or nothing. All or nothing. Thank you, Madam Renike. I cite you also. Thank you so much, Mama, for being here. Madam Renike has once been one of our facilitators in GBG Women Will. So thank you, Mama. We appreciate you. We value you. We celebrate you. Woo! Amazing. Okay, I have a question, Dr. T. I have a question. You know, let me just ask this question. So yes, you know, we get these things a lot, and before you get into the ego story, I need to know the tweak to doggedness, right? Because you know, when you talked about the HR part, you know, you talked to the HR once, and then you quit. It again, it's easy for people to quit because some of these things are not encouraging. You know, when you're trying to see a development you want and it's not happening. It's not happening. You get tired, and it's just normal for us as human beings. You know, we get tired, and you know what? You know, I've tried my best. What is that thing that's going to help us? You know, when you are in that phase of disappointment and it's looking as if there's even no one to believe in you. You know, what is that thing that would help us to keep on going as an individual? Just help us trash it out, then we link it to your ego presentation, and then we call it a wrap.
There's something that they call, I know this is a mouthful.
It really is.
Yeah, there's something called existential aloneness. Existential aloneness. Now, this thing is about yourself being your own motivator, your own initiative, that a fire that burns from within you. You have to light the fire within you, and it burns within you. It doesn't burn from encouragement from outside. You cannot seek encouragement from outside to keep you burning. If you want to be a true leader, it's part of the belief. If you really believe, you will never give up. If you love your child, right?
Yeah, right.
If your child is hungry, will you ever give up looking for food for that child?
No.
You cannot, because it's something you cannot do. You will not stop doing it. You will never say, well, I can't do anything. Let the child just sit there and that there's nothing I can do about it. You will just, because it's deep in your principle set that I am the responsible for this child, and this is me, I'm a mother, and it's deep in your DNA. And it's so if you do not put your own clear personal purpose deep in your DNA and live by it, you wake up in the morning knowing I'm on my mission, I'm on my vision, this is what I'm there to do. That is what keeps you encouraged. But if you are just floating around town and you don't have any vision, mission, you don't even know what you woke up and you're taking your shower for what? To go to work and do what? Stay at home. You must be waking up saying, "Yo, right, I know, yeah, okay, my mission. Hey, I didn't sleep down. It's time to go." If you don't feel that fire burning, the fire must burn, burn. If it's not burning, then you're not serious. You are not serious. I don't know who do you want to come and keep telling you yes. Who must come and tell you? You're not an adult. You can't give up. Who are these people? The Martin Luther Kings, these Doras, who are they? Are they something different from a human being? We just hear Dangote. Dangote is nothing special. He just got lucky. Along with the Elemulus and the rest of them. They just got lucky. Now there are songs about them. But they're just another guy, like you and I. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
We want to idolize them. We want to put them on a pedestal. Like that is the gold standard. We are the gold standard. If every one of us is the gold standard. We just have to, each one of us has a preordained purpose on this earth. Now I'm talking like a pastor. We do. Every person. We better just get on with that. Get on with doing what we are put on this earth to do. You must know what it is first. So write it down. Start today. Write your vision. Write your mission. Write your purpose in life. Write your values. If you wake up every morning knowing what it is that you are waking up to do and how far, we can take notes. Quick stop. How far am I? What have I done this week that has driven me towards reaching my vision? What have I done this week that has not? Oh, okay, next week then, I better change my gear this way. I better improve. I need to read more about this because I was embarrassed in front of the client. I didn't even understand. Remember that day that lady said, each fund that she would go to, they would change, make it better, stronger, better, stronger. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That answers it. All right. Do I have anyone that has a question? You can unmute and ask your question. If you have a question, you can please unmute and ask your question. We're going to be ending this in about 5 to 10 minutes. Please, if you have questions, please drop them down. Wow, Olumide, thank you. Thank you so much for this nugget of excerpts. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm checking if you have a question. Yes, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Do I have anyone with questions before I give Dr. T the floor again? So take us through. She still has something to share with us. And once she starts that,
are you guys sure you're ready for my eagle story?
Hey, Dr. T, you want to finish us this night? We are ready. We are so ready. We are ready, Ma. Over to you.
Okay, so it's just going to take 10 minutes.
All right, Ma.
Okay. I will present just the 7 lessons. It's 7 lessons. Okay. And I will send you this presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
ma'am. And you can send it to everybody who was on this call. Okay. And so we'll have it. So don't panic too much about taking notes. Just listen.
All right, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So I will just talk first, and then I will present just the 7 lessons. Okay. Are you guys ready?
We are ready. We are ready.
Okay. Here goes. So, this is the eagle paradigm for living a life of greatness. # all or nothing. Eagles fly alone at high altitude, and they do not fly with sparrows. No other bird can go as high as an eagle. They have a strong vision, and they have the ability to focus on objects up to 5 kilometers away. When an eagle sights their prey, they narrow their focus, they set out to get it no matter what the obstacles. Unlike vultures, eagles do not eat dead things. They only feed on fresh prey. Eagles love the storm. When clouds gather, the eagle gets excited and uses the storm's winds to lift itself higher above the clouds. Only then does it glide and rest its wings, whilst all other birds hide in the leaves and branches. When a female eagle meets a potential male partner, she flies down to earth with a male pursuing her. She picks up a twig and flies up to the sky with the male still in hot pursuit. When she is high enough, she drops the twig and watches as it falls to the ground. The male chases after the twig and has to grab it before it falls to the ground and bring it back to her. She grabs it from him and flies to an even higher altitude and then drops it again. This goes on for hours until she is assured that the male has mastered the art of catching the twig Then and only then will she allow him to mate with her. When ready to lay eggs, the eagles identify a place high up on a cliff to prepare the nest where no predator can reach. The male flies to the ground. He picks up thorns to lay on a crevice of the cliff. He then collects twigs, lays them on top of the thorns. He flies back to pick up grass and lay it over the twigs. When the first layering is done, he goes back and collects more thorns, lays them on the grass, and then gets more grass to cover those thorns. Finally, he plucks his own feathers and lays them as the final soft cushion on the grass for the newborn eaglets, and this completes the nest. The thorns on the outside protect the nest from the possible intruders. When the female lays the eggs, she protects them while the male hunts. When the young ones are ready to learn to fly, the mother throws them out of the softly feathered nest onto the cold crevice of the cliff. Because they are scared, they jump back into the nest again. She then throws them out again, and this time she removes the feathers, and the grass is just left on the nest. And when they jump in, it's very scratchy. They don't like it very much. And she kicks them out again, but they were not so happy. She then removes the grass. When they jump in, they now sit on thorns, and they jump out by themselves, shrieking and bleeding. They jump out wondering why their parents are torturing them. The next thing, the mother eagle, one by one, pushes them off the crevice of the cliff. They shriek in fear as they drop through the air, not knowing how to flap their wings yet. The father eagle swoops down and catches them on their back, one by one, before they reach the ground, and brings them back to the cliff. They sit on the edge again as they fear the thorns in the nest. Soon the mother pushes them off again. This goes on for some time until they start to flap their wings. They get excited at this newfound knowledge that they can fly, and they never doubt their ability again. Lastly, when an eagle grows old, its feathers become weak and cannot take it as fast as it could fly previously. When that happens, it retires to a place far away in the rocks. While there, it plucks out every feather on its own body until it is completely bare, like a chicken, waiting to be boiled. The eagle stays in this hiding place until it has grown a complete body of new feathers, and then comes out with a new lease of life, ready to conquer again. So what are the 7 lessons of an eagle? I'm going to just present these lessons to you. Are we all still together?
Yes, ma'am, we are still together. We are still together.
Okay. So, the first lesson. To be great, do not find safety in numbers. Stay away from sparrow mentality. Remember, eagles fly with eagles. Lesson 2, have a vision and remain focused until you succeed, despite all obstacles. Lesson 3, feed your eyes and mind with information and thoughts that are fresh and innovative. Forget this cut and paste kind of life. Avoid regurgitating and feeding on dead and useless information and ideas. Be creative. Do your own research. Don't always rely and profiteer from other people's ideas and work. 4, achievers relish challenges and do not seek shelter from problems, but rather use the storms of life to lift them to greater heights. Lesson 5, whether in private or business life, one should test commitment of people intended for partnership. Sometimes we have to test our team members and determine their ability. However, once we have established, we need to trust in that ability and completely, as the mother trusts the father to catch the eaglets on its back. Lesson 6, the preparation of the nest teaches us to prepare for change before it comes. Being pricked by the thorn tells us that sometimes being too comfortable where we are may result in us not experiencing life and not progressing to our full potential. The thorns of life teach us that we need to grow and get out of our nets. Also, we may not know it, but the seemingly comfortable and safe haven may not be such a safe place to be in for a long time. People who love us do not let us languish in sloth, but push us hard to grow and prosper. Even in their seemingly bad or cruel actions, they have good ulterior motives for our development. And last lesson, this lesson is about introspection and constant rejuvenation. We must occasionally shed off our old habits and issues that burden us and cause us to slow down and give ourselves an opportunity to experience new things that give us a new lease in life. That's it, guys.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Dr. T on fire. That's like, I cannot even pronounce your name alone again. I have to say Dr. T on fire. Thank you.
If I had to ask, are you ready?
This is just like a bomb blast. It was short and precise and very punchy. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to let Daniel, our Google lead for GBG Yaba, he has something to say before we go. Daniel, you have the floor.
Hi, Dr. T.
He even had to clear his voice. Like, no. I need to clear my voice.
We also enjoyed your presentation, and I'm sure you actually had a nice time with us. We at the background we had a conversation earlier, and I told you you were going to also have a nice time. I'm sure you did. Actually, you went beyond our expectation. You gave us more than we expected. You blew our minds, and we hope that we can take from your personal experiences and also do great things with it. We thank you for sharing with us those insightful information. We also thank our other speaker here, Faith, and thank you from the whole Google Business Group family. We say thank you. Thank you, Dr. T. I know Ayomide that recommended you is also happy that you've been able to share this awesome stuff with us. Ayo, you want to say something before I pass on to Mary?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much, Dr. T. I'm really glad you today, like really glad, and I'm glad you could make it. Like I just knew, like I've had a lot of experience with you, so I just knew that who was the best person to call for this kind of session. I just knew it was Dr. T. So
Perfect.
I was glad.
Thanks, Ayomide. I was just looking, Mary. Sorry, just a second. I was just looking at Mary Momo's contribution. I think it's wonderful. Yes, we need to be our sisters' keepers. We need to mentor people. We need to keep with them, eagles, flying with eagles, and creating more eagles. So that's a wonderful contribution. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Mary Momo. Thank you so much. And this is where we say thank you to every one of you for being a part of today's event. Thank you so much, Dr. T. We know that you need to sleep. And amazingly, you didn't even doze. You see, I told you.
I thought I'm not old.
Thank you. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We are grateful. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope you learned something. Be a part of the community. Join us on social media. We have a WhatsApp group where we also share amazing information. Connect with us so that you don't get to miss any of our events. They're always mind-blowing. They're always amazing. So we'll come your way again. This is us, GBG Women Will. Let me now say Women Will. Vanessa, our co-lead for Women Will Yaba. Thank you so much for all the work you did behind the scenes to make this a success. Thank you so much to all the co-organizers. You all have been amazing. Those in the publicity team, those pushing it, those on social media, the guys in the content, the graphic designer. Thank you so much, everyone, for making this a success. And this is where I say goodbye. Bye. Have a great day. Okay, the links to join all the social media platform is going to be dropped right in just before we go. I'm going to drop the link very soon. Please, do I have any of the co-organizers online? Please help me drop the social media links. Yes, follow GBG Yaba. Follow GBG Yaba on all social media handles at GBG Yaba. That's just it. Simple like that. Simple as short at GBG Yaba. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a great time here. Have a great day.